Hi, Connecticut. It's Johnny Flynn. And there's an enormous amount of information out there that no one, I repeat, no one in Connecticut is processing. Not a single person. And it is vitally important. And right now, as federal judges are being proposed by Biden, we have Senator Murphy and Senator Blumenthal praising them. Now, these judges are finding ways to create new rights like reparations that we're going to have to pay for. Okay? Now, no one in America has picked cotton in 250 years. I'm not a racist. I have many, many, many black friends who trust me. They don't understand what's happening either. So what I'd like you to do is to follow a conversation right here online that we can discuss. Making up rights is one thing. Now, if you look on this computer, I have lots of computers, folks. That is a Senator Kennedy from Louisiana who's defending our Constitution from the assault of socialists using their agenda to steamroll the Constitution in the Constitution state. Let me make a statement. Let me turn this off. Okay, let's get back to what's happening in Connecticut. Jim Himes had a meeting the other day. We went. I spoke. I made 24 videos. I have them. I haven't shared them yet. There's stuff in there that you need to watch because what's happening? A gentleman spoke that was two people in front of me named Brian Merlin. Brian Merlin ran for Congress against Jim Himes. So did T.J. Elgin. T.J. Elgin was falsely arrested as a Republican, and he has not been able to plead in over a year. The judge will not accept a not guilty plea. He was falsely arrested by an anonymous phone call. His attorney is Dennis Bradley, who is also his opponent's attorney. Jim Himes' attorney is Dennis Bradley. Dennis Bradley is under indictment, okay? So, when we look at the next video I want to play, you have to realize, okay, that nominees for federal judge positions should be discussed thoroughly, okay? Thoroughly. The agenda of these judges are promoting lots of things that are not constitutionally correct. You can't create rights, and you can't look the other way when children are tasered to death by Stanford police officers. I am fighting these people. I have filed many, many federal court cases, mostly money laundering cases. All were dismissed. All. What's the problem? There's lots of problems, okay? Let's talk about the Himes election of 2020. Himes ran. Himes threatened his opponent to withdraw Narcan used for opioid addicts if Brian Merlin did not drop out of the Himes race. Now, Dita was DNC chair. I am told she was promised the governorship of Connecticut by Jim Himes. How is that possible? I'll tell you. There is truth. There is evidence as well. There's evidence of voter fraud in Connecticut, yes. There are pictures of ballots, okay, for presidential candidates of the 2020 election. And Denise Merrill is covering it up. Yes, she is. If people voted for a character named John J. Flynn, who ran against Trump in Connecticut for the presidency to prevent Biden from getting 4 electoral college votes, because Trump could not win in Connecticut. Maybe an independent could, since 40% of the state is undecided or independent. 20% is Republican and 30% is Democrat. Let's get back to the point. Jim Himes threatened a congressional candidate that if he didn't drop out of the race, he would withhold a life-saving Narcan drug. Now, Himes threatened, made comment, let's put it that way, that Brian Merlin was personally attacking Nina, who was DNC chair. That's not true. Her son did die of opioids, and Brian is an advocate for opioids. But let's get into the nitty-gritty. If one person died because Jim Himes withdrew Narcan, failed to provide available Narcan to the volunteers handing out Narcan during a pandemic where the clinics were closed, how many people died? Well, I think it's 1,321 or 1,371, I forget. But Connecticut had about 1,000 deaths in 2019. And the number went up 30% in 2020. I'm saying there could be hundreds of deaths due to Jim Himes's withdrawal of Narcan through the advocates that provide Narcan to our drug addicts. Like, for example, in Norwalk, there's a clinic that was closed due to the pandemic. Excuse me? So people are under stress. They're addicts. They might revert back to their old addiction due to homelessness, due to losing their jobs, due to living on the streets, and they're vulnerable, okay? So when I say watch this video, I say watch these videos. Right now I'm going to play one. Ready? I'm going to get me off the screen. Okay. I want you to watch this video. Please do.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman, and thanks for giving me this opportunity. I'm enormously honored and proud to be introducing Sarah Merriam today. Sarah Merriam is the lawyer we all want to grow up to be after we graduate from the Yale Law School. And I say that as a dad of a daughter who has just graduated from Yale Law School and would do well to emulate her extraordinary community service. Senator Murphy and I recommended Judge Merriam to the White House, and I am grateful to President Biden that he has agreed with our recommendation. She received her BA from Georgetown University in 1993 and her JD from the Yale Law School in 2000.
The Yale Law School,
a good deal of my career
is a
several decades as a litigator in the federal courts,
think
and I have a particular allegiance to the values and ethos of the very highest quality that we should be.
The values and ethos, okay, of Planned Parenthood. Understand that Himes, at his last meeting, told a woman who was concerned about funding abortion through her taxes that it hadn't passed yet. Excuse me. The American Rescue Plan gave $450 million to Planned Parenthood. You are currently paying for abortion in Connecticut. Yes, you are. He is misleading people. Jim Himes walked up to the podium in Norwalk and said that during the January 6th riot, people were murdered with fire extinguishers. That is proven to be a false statement. Okay? The false statements of these Democrats are ruining the entire nation and will lead to World War III. Mark my words. I don't want my two sons being drafted to go to Iraq and Iran because of Rostec, because of Himes, because of these transportation deals. Think about it. Think about it. Do you know who David Lehman is? It's Lamont's right-hand man, okay? He is the CMO trader that was never prosecuted by Himes, who works for Goldman Sachs. Himes came from Goldman Sachs. What do you need to know? Himes gets an annual bribe from Bank of America, his largest donor, to support Judge Adams taking away rights from all Americans in the state of Connecticut. Why? Let me explain. I filed 300 lawsuits, some as many as 10 times each. The fees were collected and the cases were dismissed without a court date, without discovery, without a jury, without admissions, without subpoenas for evidence of exculpatory evidence and other types of evidence. These judges are corrupting cases just like every case I ever filed in the federal court. Every appeal. I've filed over 60 appeals. Where do they go? Who knows? You can't get an answer. Why? Because the state of Connecticut has judges that don't allow pro se litigators, which I am, in the courtroom. They don't allow you to defend yourself. This is a constitutional right. What Richard Blumenthal is doing here is creating rights like reparations, which is not in the Constitution, and denying inalienable rights, which are in the Constitution. Your right to due process is in the Constitution. Okay? You don't understand what happened. Bank of America brought the slaves from Africa, financed slavery. Yes, it did, in Connecticut. I have the proof. Yes, they bought Shawmut Bank. They bought the other banks, all that paid for slavery. A profit center. Picked up people who were using the Dutch and other people, picked up slaves in Africa that were captured by other tribes, put on ships, brought to America, and sold into slavery. This is a history lesson for Connecticut. Bank of America is the darkest bank we have. We have partners at Kelly, Dry and Warren, which no one will prosecute. No judge in the Stamford Superior Court will prosecute Kelly, Dry and Warren. And Judge Adams assigns the cases, is a partner at Kelly, Dry and Warren, and these judges that Richard and Senator Murphy are appointing will take away your rights. DCF cases take away your kids. You make a statement about DCF, they will come after you. They will falsify an investigation. They will take your kid. I've seen it happen time and time again. What do they do about human trafficking? Zero. Watch my human trafficking post we're about to create about the city of Shelton. Why are girls taking off their clothes at Vape World in Shelton to get free vapes? Excuse me. You know what the Shelton police said? They said, we don't have a budget for human trafficking. Are you joking me? These are 13-year-old girls being trafficked to make a profit. And why did we just make marijuana legal? Excuse me. It's an addictive drug. Why does Tong want to take over opioids? Because Tong is corrupt as the day is long. Why don't they want to close the border? They want to bring fentanyl in. Why are they abandoning Afghanistan? Because it's about the heroin, folks. It's about the heroin. And you guys are allowing people like Richard Blumenthal to murder people. Yeah, hello. Look at the opioid epidemic. 220 people die daily. What's happening there? Connecticut wants to be in the drug business. That's why they haven't settled the opioid problem. That's why they're allowing it to be over-prescribed. That's why they're allowing pill mills to maximize profits. That's why they allowed the family of Purdue Pharma, the Sacklers, to siphon $10 billion off of opioids. Guess what? The DNC received $112 million in bribes from OxyContin. Are you listening? Listen. Right now, this guy, Richard Blumenthal, the guy I'm going against, okay? You watching? He's collecting bribes from 5G and saying there's no health risks. Excuse me? They set the limit in Connecticut to 600. Do you know that 9 nanowatts of Wi-Fi will fry your testicles and make your kindergartner infertile? Having a laptop in a kindergarten for a kindergartner is basically giving them brain cancer. You can see the scans of your cranium sitting in front of a laptop, sending and receiving. No kindergarten in the state of Connecticut should have Wi-Fi. None. That's the law in Italy. Hello. Guess what the law in Poland is? A limit of 9. The limit is 600 here. If you're in an apartment building and everyone has Wi-Fi, you could be getting brain cancer, thyroid cancer during a pandemic, stuck in your home, captive to Wi-Fi, watching on the internet videos that will affect your immune system during a pandemic, cook you. So let's continue. I hate to rant, but you're not listening, you're not understanding, and you're not sharing. So if you can't support my campaign electronically, there is seriously something wrong with you, because we need to get back to basics, figure out what's hurting American families. Let's play.
Seeking, as well as diversity in
Seeking
our
diversity.
federal judiciary.
Fine.
Judge Merriam fulfills those qualifications and expectations,
Yes.
and much
She's
more.
being voted on
Her work in the courtroom began
because of her color, not because of her ability or not because of her legal expertise. She's being promoted to a federal court because of only her color. Now, de Blasio was voted in because of his height and that he was married to a lesbian. Okay, he's all about the Rainbow Coalition, whatever you want to call it. Fine and dandy, you know? Fine and dandy. But there are problems that I will discuss, and I might lose a few of you guys over it. So what? I don't care. The fact is, they're leading us down a road that we will never recover from. They're going to set precedent, which will be used by these judges to justify taking away your rights and bringing you to socialism, folks. It's unwinding as we speak. Nobody is following it. Look, 117 people gave it a thumbs up.
long before she joined the
54
bench.
gave it a thumbs
After
down.
graduating from Yale Law School, she clerked for 2 federal judges. Both I admire greatly. Judge Alvin Thompson in the District of Connecticut and Judge Thomas Meskel on the Second Circuit. She was in private practice. She became an assistant federal defender in the District of Connecticut from 2007 until she took the bench in 2015.
These are her credentials.
And I am really just thrilled that federal prosecutors agree with Senator Murphy and myself. Their statement is in the record. So do
These are knuckleheads?
members of the private bar. Their statements are in accord.
Accepting bribes, like 5G, OxyContin in Connecticut, ruining the United States. This guy is ruining single-handedly everything you fought for since the Civil War.
And I will just say that Judge Merriam really embodies the highest ideals and traditions of our federal district court in...
You hear his words? Do you hear his words? Now, this is a man, okay, at age 32, who met a woman who was 16, started dating her, okay, which was statutory rape. She was not old enough to consent. He owns the Empire State Building. He owns 40 strip malls. He is a white supremacist that the Democrats don't recognize because he's on their team. And there are atrocious things happening on his watch. Atrocious things happening on his watch. Look at human trafficking in Connecticut. He was Attorney General. From 2006 to 2016, 400 human traffickers were arrested, 0 prosecutions. 0. Now they're legalizing prostitution. Why? Because they say the woman's a victim. Well, they are. But let me tell you what happened with the human trafficking victims. Richard didn't help them. Richard gave one an award. Look at the Quinnipiac law review site. He gave an award to a woman who was arrested 47 times as a prostitute. He didn't help her case. He didn't prosecute the guy who forced her to have sex for money. He let her deal with her own addiction and return to prostitution, which will affect... They say, oh, we're all about women's rights. Really? Legalizing prostitution is not in the Constitution, folks. To protect a woman in Connecticut would mean changing the whole way that prosecutions exist. Our chief state's attorney, Richard Blumenthal, worked with, Richard Colangelo, took a bribe on Labor Day. What happened? Valerie Jaddo, Stephen Barrier's mother, was contacted by Blumenthal, resulting in a bribe paid by Tong, executive order of Lamont, to the chief state's attorney, and Makosi allowed it. Makosi is the same investigator who botched the Thomas Cummings pedophile case. Makosi was Thomas Cummings' partner. Richard Colangelo botched that case. Now the Doulos case is botched. Why? Because they can't reveal the evidence. It's been sealed by a federal judge. Hello, the same judges that these guys are putting on the bench. We need to get rid of Richard Blumenthal and Senator Murphy as soon as possible, because what's going to happen is they're legalizing everything, taking away your rights, and here we go. They're talking about the Voters Act. They're talking about H.R. 1. They're talking about the People's Act. You guys need to look at what they're discussing and how it will affect you, not just pass these laws, creating precedent that you'll never overcome. We have a problem, folks. It's Richard Blumenthal. I'm the only guy willing to go after him, and I've received a lot of threats already. So don't worry about that. What you need to worry about is how you're going to prevail after legalizing marijuana, another addictive drug, after allowing OxyContin to operate in bankruptcy, after a $112 million bribe was paid to the DNC. And then you got to wonder about Congressman Himes, threatening Merlin that he'll withdraw Narcan if Merlin doesn't drop out of the race, while at the same time having his opponent arrested. Look at the opponents that have been arrested. Look at Darnell Crosland running against Mayor Harry Rilling in Norwalk. False arrest, folks. False arrest, period. Where's the plea? Well, Darnell Crosland is Stephen Barrier's attorney now. Why? Because of the bribe, folks. Now, was he criminally prosecuted? No, I think the case was dropped because of the bribe to Richard Colangelo. Sent with Makozy's knowledge, with Chief Shaw's knowledge from Easton, and I confronted Richard Colangelo at the Easton Police Commission meeting. He didn't deny accepting the bribe. So should we end it here, or should we continue with the video? Maybe we should continue with the video. Hold on a second. It's very, very, very important. It's maybe the most important video I've ever created. Now I've lost it. Well, I'm not going to redo it, folks, but needless to say, you can go watch the remainder of the Senator Murphy, oh, I support this judge crap, because that's exactly what it is. The guy's a knucklehead, okay? Knucklehead. I would love to debate both of them. I challenged Richard to a debate over debateattorney.com. There are about 30 challenges in the works. I recently challenged all 5 congressional congressmen in Connecticut to debate H.R. 1, which is ballot harvesting, same-day registration, no voter ID, 6-to-1 matching. If senatorial races go for $100 million each, that means that the federal government in the future would match $600 million to the $100 million, and we will have $600 million races in the future. These guys in Congress would be pocketing mountains of cash. Mountains. So why don't you look carefully at H.R. 1? Courtney's involved. DeLauro's involved. Larson's involved. Hayes is involved. They've all been challenged. None will come. And you know what will happen? If this bill passes, you can move to Australia, folks, because that's what it's going to take. And I thank you. I'm at 28 minutes. Nobody's going to watch this, and I thank you. I don't want to go any longer than that. I certainly hope you go see who Sarah Merriam is. I've been trying to find out. I will let you know. Follow the page. Follow us on YouTube. More importantly, follow us on Twitter. Most importantly, there's a reason, folks, that you should follow me on Twitter. I haven't disclosed a lot of things yet. This is number 425 video. You should watch them all, because there's stuff that I've been leading little breadcrumbs going to grandmother's house where we have to throw these witches in the oven. Have a great day. What you fail to realize is politics is a blood sport. Republicans run taking the high road. Democrats run taking the low road. I am not going to play these games, okay? We need facts. We need to share. You need to look at video 424 right away. Robin Porter, I had no respect for. But now, since she made these comments, I'm letting her, I just asked her to friend me. Why? Because I can use this information to get part of the black vote in Hartford, New Haven, Bridgeport, and Waterbury. If Johnny Flynn can get 40% of those cities. Keep in mind, there's 3,000 Republicans in Hartford. There's 125,000 people. Now I hear Peter Lamage is running for U.S. Senate against me. No problem, dude. He's Albanian. Tell him I said go door to door in Hartford and sign up every Bosnian as a Republican to vote. Sign up every Ukrainian. Sign up every Albanian in Hartford, New Haven, Waterbury, and Danbury to try to beat me in a primary, because that isn't going to happen. It never will happen. So, we have a game plan. You know, I wish him well in the Murphy race when I go after Blumenthal, but I'm hearing now that Himes is also going to go for the Blumenthal seat, and that little Senator Willie's going to run for Himes' seat. Folks, don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. They legalize H.R. 1. Do what you have to do to get these people out of office. Because what happened on January 6th was patriots defending the country. Okay? They were let in and they went too far. Yes, but no one used a fire extinguisher, Jim Himes, which you said at your meeting 2 nights ago, to murder anyone else. That was a false statement. And by the way, the biggest false statement of Jim Himes is this. You ready? He said for 3 years to my face that the president colluded with the Russians. The fact is, the Transportation Committee of Congress colluded with Rostec on the container Russian, Iraqi, Iranian container ship industry at Cape Canaveral, 1,000 feet from our Trident sub-base missile, bringing containers here that have ICBMs to take out HFA production oil and gas facilities in the United States, owned by Carlyle Group in Wilton, Tosco Petroleum in Stamford, Connecticut, Tesoro Petroleum in Stamford, Connecticut, the O'Malley Group in Greenwich, Connecticut, all are self-insured. Self-insured. Folks, I'm not crazy. I'm smarter than the average bear. Let's go. Get behind this, do your own research, and let's win back Connecticut. Turn it red. Turn it red. We can. We're on our way. We're going to find a way. And I need your help to do it. I just got a bunch of new volunteers. I'm getting volunteers. Most are Democrats. Go figure. Why? I met a woman yesterday at a gas station. I introduced myself. She's on my team. She's a Democrat. She said, Johnny, I used to be a bleeding heart Democrat. She has purple hair. She's Chinese. She said, let's talk for 5 minutes. She's like, oh my God, the Republicans in Connecticut have fallen off a cliff. Yes, they have. And I thank you for recognizing what's going on. My last 2 volunteers was a North Vietnamese guy. Go ahead. And a Chinese woman in Connecticut. One from Wilton and one from Stamford. So here we go. There's 169 towns. I got 2 people from Milford. I need every other town to volunteer, step up, follow, share, and let's raise a few bucks. If you can't, let me make one more pleading. I'm at 34 minutes, and you guys won't watch. We need to figure out, each and every Connecticut resident, how much we're willing to pay to get rid of Richard Blumenthal. Okay, I hear he has Parkinson's disease. Can't confirm it. I kind of know he had cancer and he was treated in Europe. I kind of know. And there's other things we haven't revealed. But the fact that he committed statutory rape and he committed stolen valor 6 times, is that enough for the veterans to stand behind Johnny Flynn? I stand for the flag. I kneel for the cross. But where are the veterans in Connecticut? They're getting screwed because the money's going to the undocumented folks. The money's gone. We've printed so much money, our checks aren't going to clear. Have a great day. I hope to see you tomorrow at the Himes event. If you don't come, I am telling you, I'm going to be even more upset than I am today. I asked Robin Porter to come. Maybe she'll come. Thank you very much. Stand for the flag and kneel for the cross. I'm talking to a senator from Nevada that you must meet, and his name is Brown. And if he joins the debate tournament, it's going to be a game changer. Thank you very much.